Welcome to Biomutant. Check out that day. Try again when you have some key energy. to half your health. Head on. See that rubber scrap? That'll add a bit of bounce for you. That's an intact plant hut over there. Wonder what's growing. Made it running low. You're half dead. Wow. Put an end to it. Listen to the creatures of the night. Snazzy hatter. That's a mind monitor from the... Looks like the inputters need to be linked to get the mind monitor to boot up. Just a few moves left. Make them count. The wrong state of mind matters too. The inputters need to be linked to boot the mind monitor. It's mind over matter, software over hardware. Success is peace of mind. Guess you still want more than that. Biohazard makes your skin crawl. Squint into the oncoming light. Gizmo will always make time for you. Thinks you must be mad if you're up and about this early. Wants to know how much good you think you can actually do in a ruined world. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. Gizmo will always make time for you. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Good ride long. Tell it, no biting. the yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. Don't distract this beastie, it's working. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present and future, a representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. This is Dixie's goods. There's an outfitter and an upgrade bench dangling in that little blimp. Let's see. Says you'll get a special price and a wrap-up on the double. Suggests you take it easy. You won't strike a good deal here if you're in a hurry. Offers you extraordinary prices for extraordinary things. Think better to be on top of a mount than standing behind it. Sometimes your mind creates an illusion where it's possible to go back in time to relive a moment in your life. We all have things in our past we wish hadn't happened, and can come to remember seeing and doing things that never happened. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Choose the automaton functionality you want to recall. You weren't supposed to know how to start the automaton pew-pew pang, but clearly you figured that out way back then. Check out that plastic scrap over there. Where are the control sticks on this thing? Ah, some wood scrap. Always happy to find that. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. It's important to stay grounded. You share the same fate as the tree. Out of date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast. Out of date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled. Out of date says that Goop is worried now that the Southeast World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Goop is working on a goo-gliding vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of date suggests that you should head southeast as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind. understands completely. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Is something sinister hiding among the trees? This one seems to be in good spirits, despite being left here for dead. Has heard that you have a sense of compassion and trusts it's in your nature to help those in need. Asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your conscience. It's only through your inner conflict you're held accountable for your actions. Is grateful you chose that. You can't doing good for others.
Light instantly vanishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
You could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Life's a beach, even though it's hard to see it that way. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Let's see.
Lango. Azitawa. Mako. Yatupuwila.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days.
Mavaniko.
Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He knows he's easy to remember. There's no one out there as cuckoo as him. He's one of a kind. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa-Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're taught it. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
The light shines on.
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like?
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices. Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. Never seen any brighter. Shine on. But hey, back to the goo. News yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no taste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff.
Wanakanwako.
You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a tower tanker hit a reef and went under. Next time, bring a life preserver. It's not stairs, but it'll do. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Baconed up. Nice and... Just a few moves left. Make them count. How scared of the dark are you? Exercise helps. The night time is the right time. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Mukamme. Sairuja. Surakia Katemnionyana.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There's debris floating around on the surf that might be blocking your path or needs to be towed. That means you'll need a device so you can get it out of your way. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks. Squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He only knows what's visible to the naked eye. Gulp is not much of a babbler and mostly keeps to himself and his drink. With luck, it'll keep you out of the goo. Welcome to the Surf Archipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Hockbur, a prime village. Bang, bang. Give him a hand. Hand them their feet. You're not dead yet. Night gives you relief from the day. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. Heard that even simple things like puddle pops, surf salad, muffin grass and wild pips have become nearly impossible to grow. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Shine's happy that the Myriad can count on a friend as bright as you. Thinks you should find a good place to hole up until daybreak. Understands you have things to do. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Says you glow like the midday sky, 3 outposts down and a tribe war to go. Wishes you goodbye. The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Says you'll meet again. Is that a ray of hope? That's some sharp wood scrap there. Watch for splinters. All ashore that's going ashore. Found some e-waste. Worthwhile. It's all about destiny. Yours, mine, the entire world's. It's a rare sight. Treasure it. Wildlife here is teetering on the brink of extinction. We all are. The meat-eater again. Nothing seems to satiate his hunger. The note is done for unless you intervene. Looks like some solid wood scrap there. Hey, a mount has no gears to grind. Wood scrap's great for building things. Burnt all. The Domp outpost, shined up by the Myriad tribe. This story is about a hero. Tread soft, that's a monster nest, if ever I've seen one. Metal scrap, that's the good stuff. That'll come in handy. Everything is at stake. This is Hobbydunk, a homey little village. Let's see. Nice. Some barked wood strap for you. Just what you were looking for. Can't be too many days like this left at the rate the world is ending. Doubt you've earned the trust and support of this village. Actions speak louder than words. You did good here. Is always willing to listen. You did good here. Take this seriously, or it'll take you down. Gun it! This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least. Yeah. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Aufschlag. Guesses he does, but it's a long life in a wild world. Sometimes he's shaken, not stirred. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something, old. Good? Bad? Not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny, liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the myriad. They like a peaceful drink, just like you. Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The glug-mocker, nimhimbibble, and his radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state that it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun goes up. Says that's what gives your internals such a great glow. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching pippies flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at and touch, like quacks. Squeezing them is a great way to relax. Says he's not sure you can. Physically, that is. There's no squeeze in the world able to counteract his expansiveness. Let's see. Feel that brisk breeze? The world needs you. That was a wild ride. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. This story needs a key. Itchy trigger finger. You're in pain. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Fate is funny that way, but it won't always make you laugh. That's fun? Ride it like a rocket.
Usa. Sairuya. Zurakia.
That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition.
Chaida rapiki.
Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again.